The economy was reviewed at a breakfast event organized by the Nigeria-South Africa Chamber of Commerce, with speakers from the banking sector who spoke on the different arms of the economy and the opportunities therein, bearing in mind the current state of the economy. One of the speakers at the event talked about the opportunities available in the economy for the MSMEs, that the government is interested in that space, while advising that they should start relying on producing rather than importing.
All right, so what I was trying to highlight is that there are opportunities for the MSMEs, although we do know that the economy right now and the different policies have affected most MSMEs in spite of the change in the government. But the government is also looking at that sector with particular emphasis of trying to alleviate and also grow that MSME space. What we need MSMEs to do is actually look at those opportunities, look at expanding into those fields, looking at value add. What we want to do now is opportunities whereby we start to produce internally rather than rely on imports. So that is where the MSMEs can play a part in this import substitution. So where we are now consuming this internally produced goods as opposed to importing that we have either to been used to. So that way it reduces the dependence on Forex also. And we see more of these MSMEs do more of value add and producing, and rather than just production of just the raw materials. So that's the space that they need to play more on. They need to also look at the opportunities that the government is putting out there to support these MSMEs in terms of the interventions that they are doing in that space. A lot of these export grants, export subsidies are in place, and they need to latch on to that also. So it's not doom and gloom. There are opportunities, and those are the things we need them to start to take advantage of.
Shun Ogundolapo, a banker, also spoke about doing more of export trading, that will bring foreign investors.
So I think the current government is trying to do some work in encouraging foreign portfolio investors to invest in Nigeria, because that's part of where you get foreign exchange from. And once we begin to see that tempo increase, then the liquidity will come. The first step that government have taken is to try and collapse the different rates that we are seeing all around. So that is the first step. Now the next step is to now improve liquidity in the system. And one of the things I also mentioned was the fact that we need to now improve our export trade in the country. When you export, especially non-oil exports, when you do that, you are increasing the flow of foreign exchange into the country, which will in turn support payments for the imports that you already have. So those are some of the things that I believe that government can use to support, as well as the companies, the SMEs, the individuals in the country can also do. Let's get to do more of export. That would help to ease the pressure on government providing the FX. Everybody would be able to at least generate some, or as many as are into export, will be able to generate that level of foreign exchange to support the import in the country.
The Nigerian-South African Chamber of Commerce usually organizes breakfast events to promote growth and opportunities in the economy by creating space for other chambers and the private sector. KAFTAN Business News, Lagos.